The coffee had gone cold in my hands, but I didn't move to reheat it. I sat at our kitchen table, the same one where we'd shared countless breakfasts, planned vacations, and dreamed about our future. Now, it felt like a boundary line between two strangers sharing the same house. "David." Her voice came from the doorway, tentative and soft. "Are you coming to bed?" I didn't turn around. "I'll be up later." "You said that last night. And the night before." Rebecca stepped into the kitchen, her silk robe rustling in the silence. "You've been sleeping on the couch for 2 weeks now." 2 weeks since I knew. 3 months since it happened. 6 years of marriage suddenly felt like an elaborate lie I'd been telling myself. "I'm just tired," I said, the words tasting like ash in my mouth. "Tired." She repeated the word like she was testing its weight. "You're always tired these days. You leave for work early, come home late. When you are here, you barely look at me." I finally turned to face her. Even now, even knowing what I knew, she was beautiful. Her dark hair fell in waves over her shoulders. Her green eyes searched my face for something: reassurance, forgiveness, recognition. But I had none of those things to give. "Maybe I am tired, Rebecca. Tired of a lot of things." Her brow furrowed. "What's that supposed to mean?" "It means exactly what it sounds like." I stood, dumping the cold coffee into the sink. "I'm going to bed. The couch is comfortable enough." "No." Her hand caught my arm as I tried to pass. "No, you don't get to do this. You don't get to shut me out without explanation." I stared at her hand on my arm, remembering when her touch used to send electricity through my body. Now it just felt heavy, wrong, like something that didn't belong there anymore. "David, please." Her voice cracked. "Talk to me. Whatever's wrong, we can fix it. We always fix things." A bitter laugh escaped before I could stop it. "Fix things. Right. What is going on with you?" Tears welled in her eyes now. "Ever since that business trip, you've been different. Cold. Distant. You won't talk to me, won't touch me, won't even look at me most days." "The business trip." My stomach twisted. She didn't know that I knew. She had no idea that her girls' weekend spa retreat 3 months ago had been anything but. That her friend Jennifer, drunk at a dinner party, had let slip about the hot guy Rebecca met at the hotel bar. Jennifer had covered quickly, but not quickly enough. And once the seed was planted, I couldn't help but investigate. The credit card statement showing charges at a hotel restaurant when she was supposedly at a spa. The texts she'd hastily deleted, but that I'd recovered from our phone bill. The perfume that wasn't hers clinging to her clothes when she came home. Marcus. His name was Marcus. Some divorced attorney attending the same conference that was actually being held at the hotel she'd stayed at. "You want to know what's wrong?" I finally said, my voice low and controlled. "You really want to know?" "Yes. God, yes, I want to know. I want my husband back." "Your husband?" I shook my head slowly. "That's interesting, Rebecca. Because 3 months ago, where was your husband? Where was your marriage when you were?" "When I was what?" She stepped back, and I saw something flash across her face. Fear? Guilt? Nothing. I swallowed the words, the accusations, the rage. "Not yet. I'm tired. I'm going to sleep." "David, wait." But I was already walking away, leaving her standing in the kitchen that suddenly felt too small for both of us. As I grabbed my pillow from our bed, from her bed now, really, I caught sight of our wedding photo on the dresser. 2 people smiling like they'd never known pain. Like betrayal was something that happened to other couples. I turned the photo face down and carried my pillow to the couch. Tomorrow. I'd deal with all of it tomorrow. The pretense lasted another week. 7 more days of careful navigation around each other, of conversations about bills and groceries and whose turn it was to take out the trash. 7 more nights on the couch, staring at the ceiling, imagining her with him. I'd started working later, not because I needed to, but because the thought of coming home to her made my chest tight. My assistant, Patricia had noticed. "Everything okay, Mr. Morrison?" she'd asked yesterday, concern creasing her weathered face. "Fine," I'd lied, because what was I supposed to say? That I was avoiding my own home because being there meant facing the woman who'd shattered everything? Tonight, I'd stayed until 8, finishing reports that could have waited until Monday. When I finally pulled into our driveway, her car was there, and through the window I could see lights on in our bedroom. Our bedroom. I needed to stop thinking of it that way. Inside, the house smelled like her cooking, garlic and herbs, probably that pasta dish I used to love. The table was set for 2, candles flickering, wine already poured. She emerged from the kitchen wearing the black dress I'd bought her for her birthday last year, the one that hugged every curve. "You're home," she said, her smile brittle and bright. "I made your favorite." I set down my briefcase. "What's all this?" "This is me trying." She moved toward me, her heels clicking on the hardwood. "This is me refusing to let whatever's happening between us continue. David, we need to reconnect. Remember who we are together. Rebecca. Please." She reached for my hand, lacing her fingers through mine. "Just have dinner with me. Let's talk. Really talk, like we used to." I should have said no. Should have pulled away, grabbed my pillow, and returned to my couch sanctuary. But part of me, the part that still remembered loving her, that still ached for what we'd had, that part made me nod. Dinner was torture. She'd gone all out, the pasta, homemade bread, even tiramisu for dessert. She talked about her day, her mom's upcoming birthday, the neighbor's new dog. Normal things. Safe things. All while I pushed food around my plate and wondered how she could sit there so calmly, so innocently, when she'd destroyed us. "You're not eating," she observed, her fork pausing halfway to her mouth. "Not very hungry." "David." She set down her fork. "This has to stop. Whatever's bothering you, whatever I've done. Whatever you've done." The words came out sharper than I intended. Her eyes widened. "Yes. Obviously I've done something to upset you. I just don't know what. So please, tell me. Give me a chance to make it right." I stared at her across the candlelight, this woman I'd promised forever to, and felt nothing but emptiness where love used to live. "Do you ever think about the promises we made?" I asked quietly. "What?" "Of course I do. Our wedding vows. Forsaking all others," I quoted. "In sickness and in health. Until death do us part." Something flickered across her face. "David, why are you? Do those words mean anything to you, Rebecca? How can you ask me that?" Her voice rose. "I'm your wife. I love you. Do you?" I stood up, my chair scraping against the floor. "Because love is interesting, isn't it? It's supposed to be built on trust, on honesty, on respect." "It is. We have all of that. Do we?" I walked to the window, staring out at the street where we'd lived our seemingly perfect life. Or have we just been pretending? Playing house while the foundation crumbles? I heard her stand, heard her footsteps approaching. "I don't understand what you're talking about. David, you're scaring me." "I'm scaring you." A humorless laugh. "That's rich." Her hand touched my shoulder, and I flinched. She noticed, how could she not, and pulled back as if burned. "There," she whispered. "That. You can't even stand me touching you anymore. When did that happen? When did I become someone you can't bear to be near?" I turned to face her, saw tears streaming down her face, and felt a momentary pang of guilt before the anger rushed back in. "You want to know when?" My voice was steel. "Let me think. Maybe it was 3 months ago. Around late August? Ring any bells?" Her face went pale. "What?" "Late August, Rebecca. That conference weekend. The spa retreat that wasn't a spa at all." "David, don't." I held up my hand. "Don't lie to me anymore. I can't stand one more lie." She sank into a chair, and I watched years of deception crumble in her expression. Guilt, fear, panic, all of it cycling across her features like a slideshow of betrayal. "How long have you known?" she asked. And just like that, she'd confirmed it. No more wondering, no more hoping I'd somehow gotten it wrong. Long enough. The confession came slowly, painfully, like pulling teeth. We sat in the living room until midnight, the cold pasta forgotten on the dinner table, candles burnt down to stubs. She told me everything, more than I wanted to know, less than I probably needed. It had been one night. One stupid, drunken mistake with Marcus, the divorced attorney with the silver tongue and expensive suit. They'd met at the hotel bar, talked for hours, and she convinced herself it meant nothing, that it was just an escape from the monotony of our marriage. Monotony, I'd repeated, tasting the bitterness of the word. Our marriage was monotonous. No, I didn't mean, David, I don't know what I meant. I was confused. I felt invisible. Like I'd become just another piece of furniture in your life. "So you fucked someone else." The crudeness of it made her wince, but I didn't care. That was your solution to feeling invisible. She'd cried then, great heaving sobs that once would have shattered me. Now they just felt like noise. "It meant nothing," she kept saying. "It was one night. One mistake. I never saw him again. I've never cheated before that. And I never will again. David, please, you have to believe me." But belief is built on trust, and trust, once broken, doesn't simply glue back together. That had been 3 days ago. 3 days of her sleeping in our bedroom while I remained on the couch. 3 days of her trying to talk to me while I gave one-word answers. 3 days of existing in the same house like ghosts haunting different rooms. Tonight, though, something shifted. I was working on my laptop, reviewing contracts for a new client, when she appeared in the doorway of the living room. She wore one of my old college t-shirts and pajama shorts, her hair pulled back in a messy bun. This was how she looked her most vulnerable, her most real. "Can't sleep?" I asked without looking up. "No." She moved into the room, sat on the opposite end of the couch. "David, we can't keep living like this." "I'm aware." "Then what do we do? Do you want a divorce? Do you want me to move out? Tell me what you want, and I'll do it." I closed my laptop. "What I want is to go back 3 months and have a wife who didn't cheat on me." She flinched. I know you want that. I want that too. But we can't change what happened. We can only decide what happens next." "And what do you want to happen next, Rebecca?" "I want to fix this. I want us to go to counseling, to work through this. I want my husband back." "Your husband died 3 months ago," I said flatly. "The man who loved you unconditionally, who trusted you completely, he's gone. I don't know who I am now, but I'm not him anymore." "Don't say that." Fresh tears spilled down her cheeks. "You're still you. We're still us. One mistake doesn't have to end everything we've built." "One mistake." I shook my head. "You keep calling it that, like it was a math error or a wrong turn. You made a choice, Rebecca. You chose him over me, over us, over everything we promised each other." "It wasn't like that." "Then what was it like?" I demanded. "Explain it to me. Make me understand how the woman who swore to forsake all others ended up in bed with a stranger." She opened her mouth, closed it, and I saw her struggling to find words that could possibly justify the unjustifiable. "I can't," she finally whispered. "There's no good explanation. I was selfish and stupid and drunk, and I made the worst decision of my life. But David, I love you. I've always loved you. That never changed." Love. The word felt foreign now. "You know what's funny? I used to think love was enough. That as long as we loved each other, we could weather anything. But love without trust is just emptiness." She slid closer, her hand reaching for mine. "Then let me rebuild that trust. Give me a chance to prove." "Don't touch me." I pulled away, and the hurt in her eyes was palpable. "Why?" The question came out broken. Why can't I touch you? Why won't you let me near you? And there it was. The question that had been building between us for weeks. The elephant in the room that she'd finally named. Why don't you touch me anymore? She asked again, her voice rising. We used to. We were always affectionate. We couldn't keep our hands off each other. And now you act like my skin burns you. Why? I stood up, needing distance, needing space to breathe. She stood too, following me. Answer me, David. Why won't you touch me? Why won't you hold me? Why won't you let me close? Because. The word exploded out of me. Because every time I look at you, I see you with him. Every time you touch me, I imagine his hands on you. Every time you come near me, I remember that you gave yourself to someone else. The silence that followed was deafening. Because you gave yourself away, I said, my voice dropping to barely above a whisper. You took something that was supposed to be ours, sacred, special, exclusive, and you gave it to a stranger in a hotel room. How am I supposed to touch you now? How am I supposed to hold the woman who let another man inside her body, inside our marriage, inside everything we built? She staggered back as if I'd struck her. Every part of you that I used to cherish, I continued, unable to stop now that the words had started flowing, is tainted now. Corrupted by his touch, his kiss, his... Stop, she sobbed. Please stop. Why? Because the truth hurts? Because hearing it out loud makes it real? I felt tears on my own cheeks now. You want to know why I don't touch you anymore, Rebecca? Because you're not mine anymore. You gave yourself away. She left that night, threw some clothes in a suitcase, called her sister, and was gone within an hour. I sat on the couch in the silence she left behind and felt nothing. No relief, no regret, just a vast emptiness where my marriage used to be. The days that followed blurred together. I went to work, came home to an empty house, and existed in the space between anger and grief. Friends called, her sister must have told them, but I didn't answer. My brother showed up with pizza and beer, sat with me in silence, and left without pushing for conversation. He understood, somehow, that I needed to break before I could begin to heal. 2 weeks after she left, Rebecca called. I'm staying with Sarah, she said, her voice small and distant. I think we should talk. Really talk. With someone professional. I found a marriage counselor who... I don't want counseling. Silence. Then, David, please. Don't give up on us. I'm not giving up. I'm facing reality. We're broken, Rebecca. Maybe irreparably. We're not broken, she insisted. We're hurt, yes, but we can heal. We can come back from this. Can we? I asked. Because I don't know how to come back from the image of you with him. I don't know how to forget that you chose him, even for one night. I don't know how to trust that you won't do it again. I won't. I swear to you, David, it will never happen again. That's what you swore at our wedding too. How'd that work out? The cruelty of my words hung in the air. I knew I was being harsh, pushing her away with deliberate cruelty. Part of me wanted to hurt her the way she'd hurt me. Part of me wanted to see if she'd fight for us or if she'd give up. She fought. Over the next month, Rebecca waged a campaign for our marriage. She sent me articles about couples who'd survived infidelity. She left voicemails about counselors she'd researched. She showed up at my office with lunch, sat in her car outside our house, wrote me letters that oscillated between apologetic and desperate. And slowly, against my better judgment, something in me began to soften. Not forgiveness, I wasn't ready for that. But curiosity, maybe. A wondering about whether healing was actually possible or if we were both just clinging to the corpse of something already dead. I finally agreed to meet her. Neutral ground, a coffee shop across town where neither of us had memories. She looked different. Thinner, tired, older somehow. Her eyes, once bright and full of life, seemed dimmed. Thank you for coming, she said as I sat down. I'm not promising anything. I know. I need you to hear me. Really hear me." I gestured for her to continue. "I've been in therapy," she began. "Individual therapy, 3 times a week. Trying to understand why I did what I did. And I've learned things about myself that I didn't want to face. Such as the fact that I was unhappy. Not with you, but with myself. I'd lost my identity somewhere in being a wife, a daughter, a friend. I didn't know who Rebecca was outside of everyone else's expectations. And instead of dealing with that, instead of talking to you about it, I made the worst possible choice." I sipped my coffee, saying nothing. That night with Marcus, it wasn't about sex or attraction or any lack on your part. It was about me being broken and trying to fill that brokenness with something external. Someone who saw me as Rebecca, not as David's wife or Sarah's sister or anyone's anything. Just me. "So your identity crisis justified betraying me?" "No," she said firmly. "Nothing justifies it. I'm not making excuses. I'm trying to explain the why, even though there's no good reason. What I did was unforgivable. I know that. But David, I'm asking you to try to forgive anyway." "Why should I?" "Because we had 6 good years before one bad night. Because you loved me once, and maybe you still do, buried under all the hurt and anger. Because I'm willing to spend the rest of my life proving that I'm worthy of a second chance." I stared at this woman who'd been my wife, my partner, my person, and tried to find the love I'd once felt for her. It was there, buried deep beneath layers of pain and betrayal, but present nonetheless. "I don't know if I can do this," I admitted. "I don't know if I can look at you without seeing him. I don't know if I can trust you again." "I know. And I'm not asking you to decide right now. I'm just asking you to try. Come to counseling with me. 1 session. See if there's anything worth saving." I should have said no. Should have walked away and filed divorce papers and started fresh with someone who hadn't shattered me. But humans are funny creatures. We cling to familiar pain rather than face unknown futures. 1 session. I agreed. But I'm not moving back in. I'm not pretending everything's fine. I'm just trying. Her smile was tentative, hopeful, heartbreaking. "That's all I'm asking." The counseling was brutal. Dr. Martinez, a no-nonsense woman in her 50s, didn't let either of us hide behind pleasantries or deflections. She made Rebecca face the full weight of her betrayal. She made me acknowledge my role in our marriage's deterioration, not in causing her cheating, but in the distance that had grown between us even before that night. "You both stopped seeing each other," Dr. Martinez said during our 3rd session. "Rebecca became invisible to David, and David became unavoidable but distant to Rebecca. You were married but not connected. And while that doesn't excuse infidelity, it does explain some of the vulnerability that led to it." 6 months after Rebecca moved out, we were still in counseling. Still trying. Still figuring out if there was an us worth fighting for. The sessions had revealed uncomfortable truths about both of us. I learned that I'd been emotionally absent for the year leading up to her affair, so consumed with a difficult project at work that I'd stopped truly seeing her. She learned that her need for external validation had been a ticking time bomb, waiting for the right circumstances to explode. We'd both been broken in different ways, and we'd broken each other in the process. Tonight, we were having dinner, our first attempt at a date night in 7 months. She'd suggested the Italian place where we'd had our 3rd date, back when we were still discovering each other. "Is this weird?" she asked as we sat down, menus untouched between us. "Incredibly," I admitted. "But most of this past half year has been weird." She laughed, a real laugh, the first I'd heard in months. "Fair point." We ordered, fell into easier conversation than I'd expected. She told me about the pottery class she'd started, this journey of self-discovery she'd been on. I told her about the promotion I'd gotten, how work felt less consuming now that I'd learned to set boundaries. "You seem different," she observed. "Lighter somehow." "So do you. More yourself, maybe." "I am myself," she said. "For the first time in a long time, I actually know who that is. And I like her. Not perfectly, not without flaws, but genuinely." "I'm glad." You deserve that. Do I? Her eyes met mine. Do I deserve happiness after what I did to you? I considered the question carefully. 6 months ago, I would have said no. Would have told her she deserved loneliness and regret. But time and therapy had softened those sharp edges of anger. Everyone deserves happiness, I said finally. Even people who make terrible mistakes. Does that include us? Together, I mean. There it was, the question we'd been dancing around for months. Could we be happy together again? Should we even try? I don't know, I answered honestly. Some days I think about what we had, and I want it back so badly it physically hurts. Other days I think about what you did, and I know I'll never fully trust you again. What about today? What do you feel today? I looked at her, really looked. The woman across from me wasn't the same person I'd married 6 years ago. She wasn't even the same person who'd cheated 7 months ago. She'd done the work, faced her demons, become someone more whole. And I wasn't the same either. I'd learned that love without boundaries is just enabling. That forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. That healing requires both people to be willing to change. Today, I said slowly, I feel like maybe there's a path forward. Not back to what we were, that's gone, and we both know it. But forward to something new. Something built on honesty and clear communication and two people who've learned hard lessons. Her eyes welled up. Is that enough? Can we build a marriage on something new? I don't know. But I think I want to try. Really try, not just go through the motions. What does that look like? I'd thought about this. Had spent countless sleepless nights considering what reconciliation might actually mean. It means you move back into the guest room, not our bedroom. It means we continue therapy, both individual and couples. It means complete transparency, phones, emails, schedules, everything. It means if I have a bad day and the intrusive thoughts come back, you don't get defensive. You understand that rebuilding trust is a marathon, not a sprint. I can do all of that, she said without hesitation. And it means that if 6 months from now, a year from now, I realize I can't do this, that the wound is too deep to heal, you accept that. No guilt trips, no accusations, just acceptance that some things can't be fixed. She nodded slowly. And if that happens, we'll know we tried everything. That's more than most couples can say. Is it enough for you? I asked. This careful, conditional reconciliation? No guarantees, no promises beyond today. It's more than I thought I'd have, she said softly. More than I deserve after what I did. If careful and conditional is what I get, I'll take it gladly and work every day to earn more. We finished dinner talking about logistics, when she'd moved back in, what boundaries we needed, how to handle questions from friends and family. Practical matters that made the impossible feel possible. As we walked to our cars, she stopped me. David, earlier, when you said you don't know if you can ever fully trust me again, you're right. And I've accepted that. But I want you to know something. What? Even if we don't make it, even if a year from now we decide this isn't working, these months have changed me. You gave me the space to fall apart and rebuild myself, and that's a gift I'll never forget. So thank you. For not just writing me off. For giving me the chance to become someone worthy of second chances, even if that second chance isn't with you. I felt something crack in my chest, not breaking, but breaking open. Letting light in where there'd been only darkness. You know what I realized? I said. I spent months thinking you gave yourself away to someone else. But the truth is, you'd lost yourself first. And I'd lost myself in work and routine. We'd both given ourselves away, just in different ways. So what do we do now? Now. I managed a smile, tentative, careful, but real. Now we figure out how to give ourselves back to each other. Slowly, carefully, with eyes wide open and no illusions about it being easy. I can live with that. So can I. She moved toward me, and this time when she reached for my hand, I let her take it. Her fingers intertwined with mine, and while it didn't feel the way it once had, that electric, consuming passion, it felt like something else. Something quieter but potentially stronger. Hope. Possibility. A choice to move forward rather than remain trapped in the pain of the past. We stood there in the parking lot, holding hands like uncertain teenagers, and I realized something profound. Forgiveness isn't a destination. It's a direction. A daily decision to choose healing over hatred, growth over grudges, possibility over punishment. One day at a time, she asked. One day at a time, I agreed. And as we drove home, separately, to the house we'd begin sharing again with new rules and new boundaries and new versions of ourselves, I understood that we weren't saving our old marriage. That was dead, buried beneath betrayal and broken promises. Instead, we were starting something new. Something built on the ashes of who we'd been, forged by the fire of our worst moments, and tempered by the hard work of becoming people worthy of each other's trust. Would it work? I didn't know. But for the first time in 7 months, I believed it might. And that, I was learning, was enough for today. 6 months later, we renewed our vows, a private ceremony with just us and Dr. Martinez as witness. The words we spoke weren't about forever or perfection. They were about choosing each other today, tomorrow, and every day after that. About building something real from the ruins of something broken. About learning that the deepest love isn't the one that never breaks, but the one that breaks and fights like hell to put itself back together. And sometimes, that makes all the difference.